Alright, today what we're going to do is show some books that we would recommend to have on the homestead for reference material. Say that you couldn't get access to internet or anything else and all, and you need hard copies of stuff to be able to refer to. Well, we have a total of 16, but one to me, if you're a Christian, is a given that you should have in your home, and that is, of course, the Bible. Mine is a Patriot edition, so it actually has a lot of different things in it, like the fact that our nation was actually founded on the 7 Judeo-Christian pillars of conduct. And then we'll go from there to my absolute top 5, and it is the Wisdom and Know-How series from, is it Steel Story Publishing? No, from Black Dog and Leventhal Publicizers. Yeah.
You'll have to put it in the description.
Yeah.
And there's
now,
a new one we don't have.
Well, yeah, there's one of these that we don't have. We have 5 of them. And I do want to get the other one. Pardon the dog yipping in the background. They're wanting inside. They're going to have to wait.
They'll be all right.
What they did was, it's from the editors of Story Books. And I think, what was it, back in the like 60s and stuff and all, there were little mini publications that Story Books did on wisdom and know-how, and it taught you several different things, like this country wisdom
Weren't
and
there
know-how.
little pamphlets?
Yeah, well, I mean, little mini books.
Yeah.
And this one is everything you need to know to live off the land, and it's country wisdom and know-how. And there are things in here like attracting hummingbirds, baking basic bread, braiding rugs, breeding livestock, breaking your cat's bad habits if you have a cat that's not an outdoor cat, building Adirondack furniture, buying and selling horse, canning chairs, sorry, not canning. Canning on the brain, we'll be doing that again later today. I mean, there are lots and lots of different ones in each. Oh, hey, growing our own vinegar. I forgot that we stuck that in there. I mean, here there's even on making cheeses, and that's why that was marking here.
Yes.
It's Colby, mozzarella, feta.
This is probably what I was using
Sweet
as
cheese,
a bookmarker.
cream cheese. You know, it talks about the important need for salt and stuff like that on salting your cheeses and all when you're pressing them and everything. Here, give me that back so I can put it back in here and mark it again.
I can put an actual bookmarker in there. I can put that with my recipes.
Yeah, well, we'll do that later after the video. It shows, a simple cheese press that you can actually make if you're the type to be do-it-yourself inclined. Then there is garden wisdom and know-how, and it's a practical guide to nurturing your garden. And again, there are loads and loads of charts and information in here that to us, we found that these are extremely useful.
Well, they're in depth.
Yes.
And we can
Then
like
there's
to dig into
the
stuff.
survival wisdom and know-how, surviving in the wilderness. I like bushcraft camping and stuff like that, and all hunting and other things, kayaking and all, and a good bit of that stuff is all actually in here. And it's not just in the woods; it also covers stuff for in the desert and everything else, which is entirely different than if you're out in the woods. Trust me on that one. Then there are craft wisdom and know-how, and it's a practical guide to creative crafts, choosing yarn and determining yardage, texture polymer clay beads, silk flower gift decorations, over-dipped candles, 2-minute potpourri sachets. It shows you a lot of different things on knitting and other crafts and stuff. Again, there's lots of pictures and in-depth information. You know, it's really good. And then Natural Healing, Wisdom and Know-How. For us, because of issues that I had with medications and stuff that were prescribed to me from my doctor, and issues that it caused, we try to do everything as natural as possible. So, you know, looking at natural apothecary remedies, tinctures, extracts, salves, things like that, makes a big difference to us. Now, from there, that last book kind of rolls over into this one, and these next two books, to me, would actually be great to stick in a go bag. You know, have copies in a get home bag, go bag, whatever you want, or a field bag, say for if you want to go camping, anything like that. And one is the Natural First Aid Handbook. We have actually used some of the things out of this.
That's actually good to keep in your vehicle.
Yes, well, and the other one is this one right here, and it's an Edible Wild Plants, a North American Field Guide to over 200 natural foods. Now, it's not just natural foods. This book here, it's in-depth on showing you the region, color photos in different stages, and telling you whether it's edible, whether you need to cook it, whether you can use it like a trail snack, what part's edible off of it, if there's poisonous lookalikes. And we actually had a friend borrow this book for a couple of days. She returned it, and she said plain and simple, I just ordered my own. She said because I want to keep it forever. And they live off the grid and have been doing so for many, many years. But it's really great because it breaks it down to also seasonal. You know, which plants are what. There's a directory and everything on the front. It's a really great book. The other one is kind of specific to our region, and I would recommend that you try to find something similar to this in your area if you're not in the southeastern United States. And this book is actually Resources of the Southern Fields and Forests, Medical, Economical, and Agricultural. This actually dates all the way back to the Civil War. The original publication of this book was in the 1800s. And it was Francis Pear Porcher, Confederate States of America Surgeon General's office. Now, that being said, I don't care what your views are on that. I'm looking at information that is helpful and beneficial for me to know my area, know what I can use medicinally, what I can use as food, and growing in this area and stuff like that to produce food from our family. So, this is a great book. I would highly recommend it or something like it if you're not in this region. And then, of course, there's the one that you see so often that people...
I think everybody has this book.
Yeah, if you're homesteading, prepping, or anything like that...
Looting.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 times, you have this book. The Big Book of Self-Reliant Living. It really is a great book. I mean, you know, there's so many in-depths. To me, this kind of coincides with the 5 first books that I showed. You know, it's lots and lots of stuff. Now, this one book...
It probably has everything those books have
well,
in it, too.
not quite, but it covers a lot of the same stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, having redundancies in place, even in your library for being referred back to stuff and all, allows you to have certain things in multiple places. Like, you know, these would be in a bag in a truck. This would be on the shelf here at the house. Now, this covers some of what this does, and the other books. So, you know, they kind of cross-reference with each other, but it allows you to have things in different places, depending on, like, you know, if I'm out and about on a, you know, say a camping trip, kayaking, anything like that, you know, something like that would be with me. And then my wife, I picked these, and then I kind of gave her the leftover.
I get the leftovers. Y'all see how much he loves me.
Number. Well, that's
No,
because if
he gave
not,
me the hard part because I had to pick a canning book,
Yeah.
and y'all just don't know how hard that is because I I have over 17 canning books. I like them. I like to collect them. I really like old recipes, and yeah, you can't have too many cooking books. Or at least to me,
books?
I love books.
Yeah.
So I'm a book person, and I am a physical book person.
Yeah.
Not that I don't have thousands of them on Kindle, but
Yeah, well, yeah. I
I prefer to have them in my hand.
What I think last time on my Kindle I was at about 15,000 books.
Probably.
And then I've got thousands of PDFs on the computer and stuff. But nothing beats having actual hard copies.
That's right. Well, and none of it's going to do you any good if you're not going to read it or do something with it. So you need to have applicable knowledge.
Yeah,
so.
what's messed up is we have actually either read in part or all of the books that are on our Kindle and that we have in PDF. I guess you could say we're kind of book nerds. But
I'm a little nerdy.
to me, I like having knowledge and then turning it into applicable knowledge, because it doesn't matter if you know how to do something. And I've seen people do it in the past. Oh, I know how to do that, I know how to do that, I know how to do that, and I'll do it when it comes to it. Have you ever practiced it? No. But I know how to do it, or I did it when I was a kid.
It's the same with cooking.
Right, well...
So you got to do your recipes that are in your books.
Oh, yeah. Well,
So-
that's like the video that we put up of my family's chicken bone not long ago. I mean, at least once a year I make that, just because it's fake. Well, because
Okay,
it's
honey,
favorite.
let me get through these books. I love you. All right, you got The Joy of Cooking. I grew up with this book. It covers just about everything, so it's a must-have. All right, I cut my canning books down to 3 for y'all. Well, technically 4, because stocking up. This is an older book, but it has lots of recipes in it, and I guess you could technically call it a canning book. And
But
y'all
it's
can
not
see
just
how
that.
often I use it. No, it has other recipes in it too. But like I said, I like to look for old recipes.
Yeah, you just
And
modified.
I'm
one
not
out
a
of that book.
huge, it's not USDA approved person, so I could care less about that. If my grandma did it and it worked for years upon years, then they didn't die, then I'm going to do it. All right, so we got Bernardin, and this book is great because it gives you the history of canning in it. Then you got Kerr, and then of course everybody has to have a ball blue book, and there are numerous different ones because they come out with a new one every so often.
Well, and that was
So,
actually the first canning book you got.
this was my very first canning book. It was. When I got
2011?
mine, yes.
It was the newest one. We went out and got it when we got her first canning.
Yep. I've done several recipes out of this book. I still have stuff in this book. Papers, I marked certain pages. So, and then I got me a new book, which has become one of the ones I'm about to test out all these recipes. Y'all get to see these. So, this is the Amish Cooks Across America, which was really interesting to read all the stuff about all the different Amish and Mennonites in it. So, but here in a few days, y'all get to see the barbecue sauce out of this because I'm going to test it out. And I spared y'all all my other canning books, but I have a lot of them. I like recipes.
Yeah, you've got over 17 canning books.
And I'm still collecting more. If I can find different ones I don't have, I'm going to buy them.
I don't know. What would you say, conservatively, maybe about 100 different cookbooks? All right.
I see spots. I looked at the light.
Sorry, the camera shut off on us. What, conservatively, maybe about 100 different cookbooks?
I probably do. I haven't counted them. I have a whole shelf full.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of, I mean, they're all different sizes. Well, it's not just one shelf. You also have ones in the kitchen.
Well, I moved all my canning books into the kitchen, into
Right,
a crate.
But even your Joy of Cooking
But-
is in the kitchen.
Well, yeah, I use that one
She
more
says
than
a crate, but
anything
she's kind of got it stacked up like little bookshelves.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a crate.
Hey, look, we live kind of a simple life because we're on an extreme budget and stuff like that, and also we tend to do things ourselves, make things ourselves, do.
Hey,
You know,
I grew up using crates for books, for
Right.
clothes, for
Uh-huh.
shoes, whatever. Anyway, it doesn't look bad. I decorated it.
well, I mean, let's face it. Not everybody makes, you know, $70, $80, $90, $100,000 a year. There are a lot of us people out there that are doing this that make a whole lot less than that. Boy, it would
Hey.
be nice to be able to make that much money. But
Someday we'll do a video
Well-
and show them all my crocheting books.
what's bad is
They're my craft books.
when I was making really good money, we didn't do we didn't do this stuff. And then when my health got bad back in '08,
We had to
And,
figure out how to make you
well,
healthy
well, I mean,
again.
and the VA wouldn't give me a letter of release to be able to go back to work, and then physically I couldn't work anymore by 2012. I spent pretty much the whole year bedridden, couldn't do anything. That was the year that I had the stroke that year. And in '08, I had a severe brain seizure. And that's part of the reason why we started looking at health and nutrition and things like that to help. And looking at doing things more naturally.
And we've learned a lot about food.
Yeah, so
Wow.
I went from bringing home close to $1,000 a week on my paychecks to, at that time, it was $245 a month on my VA. And we sold stuff at the flea market and everything else, and I had a landlord that was a true blessing to us that gave me little odd jobs to and then when I finally got my disability started and got things ramped up through the VA, we paid him back, but honestly, if the good Lord hadn't blessed us with him, we wouldn't have made it. And it was funny because he was a retired command sergeant major from the Army, and I'm an old grunt from the Army, so we kind of understood each other.
Okay, well, this has turned into a more than just books for.
Well, we appreciate y'all coming and checking out the channel and all. Go check out some of the recipes, some of the canning stuff, some of my old blacksmithing videos. Looking forward to getting more of those when I'm healthy enough to get back out there. But we're still going to continue doing the homesteading and all. We're also going to show an update on the chickens and all coming up soon. And as we start prepping.
Is it you bigger?
Oh yes, well, they're growing nicely. But as we get ready for next spring's garden and all, we'll video some of the prep and all of that and walk y'all along on that journey with us. But don't forget to like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about it if you like it. If you don't like it, hey, leave a thumbs down and comment anyway, and it's still views for the channel. Y'all have a blessed one. Bye.